Welcome to this week's episode of Holly's Racing Fantasy. I'll bring you the latest news and what's going on around NASCAR. We'll hit the highlights from last week's race, and I'll give you my fantasy picks for this upcoming week. Join John and I for all things fantasy, and we're going to have a whole lot of fun while we do it. Stick around. Holly's Racing Fantasy is sponsored by Fifth Down Fantasy. For the latest NFL news and pro football and NASCAR picks, trust the gang over at Fifth Down Fantasy. Since 2016, Fifth Down Fantasy has been a favorite destination for football fanatics looking for smart and savvy advice and analytics. Visit fifthdownfantasy.com today. Fifth Down Fantasy, real fantasy advice by and for real fantasy players. Here we are again at Holly's Racing Fantasy. We are going to start by talking about the previous week's race, and that was at the Clash at the LA Coliseum, which was was an exciting race for me because I missed NASCAR, of course, and I was happy to have him back. Mm-hmm. But it had its ups and downs. Yeah, right.
It was boring.
Like the first half hour, maybe 45 minutes, I was like, oh my God, it's great. Mm-hmm. And then, my God, as we got into like the ending, it was rough. Caution after caution, and just, I don't know.
The cautions were just unbearable.
Oh, they were unbearable.
It was looked like a go-kart race.
It really did.
Yeah.
And, I was shocked about the winner. I don't know about you, Martin Truex Jr.
Yeah.
Took home the win.
I didn't see that coming.
I don't think anybody saw that coming. Yeah. Least of all me. I didn't put it in my fantasy picks for last week, but, hey, you never know what's going to happen.
You don't.
You get a quarter-mile track, and all hell can break loose at any time.
It's very true.
But what was also equally as surprising was second place finish, Austin Dillon.
Yep.
Third place, Kyle Busch.
Yeah. Kyle's back.
I don't know. I think he is. Mm-hmm. I think he is. We're going to talk more about Kyle in our next segment, but Alex Bowman came in fourth.
Wow.
What a motley crew of finishers. Mm-hmm. When you think about, Dillon didn't have that great of a year last year.
No.
We all know what happened with Kyle Busch, just petering out. Mm-hmm. Alex Bowman spent the last, how many races on the concussion list.
Yep.
Kyle Larson came in fifth.
Yep.
That's not surprising.
No.
I actually kind of thought maybe Kyle Larson was going to win that one, but eh. And then Tyler Reddick came in sixth. You can go to NASCAR.com if you want to get the rest of the results, but that's the lineup, which it was kind of impressive. Bubba Wallace led 40 laps. Mm-hmm. Until
Bubba got hit, right?
Austin Dillon. He kind of knocked him around on that. But, I don't think there's any animosity there because Dillon thought that Bubba got into him a little earlier, and I think he felt bad. He said after the race that he was going to go talk to him, kind of clear things up. So it's not going to be a, old-fashioned.
Just the nature of that race.
Yeah, I think so.
You're just bumping, grinding.
Oh, my gosh.
Knocking people out of the way. That's the only way to pass. So,
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Kyle Busch and Joey Logano got into it.
Yeah.
Denny Hamlin and Ross Chastain got into it.
Oh, that's right.
Which, doesn't this seem kind of early in the season for Denny Hamlin and Ross Chastain to be getting into it already?
Not for Ross Chastain.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. God bless him. Bless his heart.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's just, he's all over the place.
Yeah.
But,
it's going to be a long year for Denny if this is going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be a long year for everyone.
Denny will break and just
I don't know. Yeah, I know.
Knock
What
him
did
out
you?
in pit roll.
Didn't you say something to me earlier about you missed the good old fashioned pit roll fights?
Yeah, I do. I miss fights.
I know. Yeah.
When they're previewing the next week's race.
Yeah.
And they're showing
Right.
the old footage of the
old footage.
Tension's gonna build and they're beating each other up. And
yeah.
but that's old footage. It doesn't.
Yeah. That's Tony Stewart and Ryan Newman.
Right.
We haven't had.
You got to bring the real fights, but they got to start fighting again.
I know. Well, at least a little bit.
At least a little bit.
You don't want to see anybody get real hurt, but
Yeah.
That's true.
It'd be good for NASCAR. You know how many people would watch that? Those clips on YouTube?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Good marketing.
Yeah. Oh, you know what else about the Clash is the halftime show.
Yeah.
NASCAR had a halftime show. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
You know, it's something different.
Yeah.
But like, you know, LA, so they had to do it all LA style.
They did the home turf music, LA, you know. But
Was Khalifa there, who was, you know, fine and dandy, but half the people looked a little, you know, confused. I mean, well, some people were jamming.
Actually, when they panned around,
Yeah.
a lot of people were getting into it.
Yeah, that's true.
They're probably wasted, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's why he's at halftime. Because everybody's 3 sheets to the wind by that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least they sang, you know.
Yeah. That's another sports talk show.
Yeah. At least they really did sing. So.
They really did sing, and they did not lip sync to that.
No, that was good.
To that song. But you know what? Yeah. That's going to wrap it up for the Clash. Yeah. You know, as the weeks continue, we're going to have more to say about the races because, you know, this was for bragging rights. Everybody gets on a podium at the end and, you know, looks like the Olympics.
Yeah, they did not look comfortable on the podium.
No, absolutely not. It was a little dramatic.
It was a little bit.
You know, but NASCAR's back, baby.
Yeah,
you know, we're heading to the Daytona 500 this week. That's like the Super Bowl of NASCAR.
Yeah.
And,
Except the NASCAR, we have the Super Bowl first.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's how we roll.
Yeah. All right, we're going to get up with some NASCAR news next year. And, you know, it sounds good.
Coming up next.
All right. NASCAR news. The biggest news in the off season, I think, is going to be the return of Jimmy Johnson.
The return of the GOAT.
Oh, yeah, he is the GOAT, isn't he?
He's the GOAT of NASCAR.
I have to say he is.
Yeah.
He's coming back in a part ownership role.
Yeah.
But he is also going to run some races this year.
Yeah.
Yep. He's joined up with Richard Petty, and they have now joined forces to create Legacy Motorsports.
Yes, Legacy Motorsports.
Yep. And on that team, of course, is Eric Jones, still in the 43.
Yeah.
And we have Noah Gragson, who is coming up from Xfinity. He's going to be riding the 42. And the races that Jimmy does run, he's going to be riding in the 84. A reverse play on the 48.
Yeah.
And he's going to try out for Daytona. At the time that I'm recording this, we have no idea if he's going to qualify or not.
Yeah.
By the time you hear it, you'll know.
Yep.
But he's going to try to get into the 500.
Yeah.
I know he's going to be running the road race in Chicago. I think he's running the All-Star race because I'm pretty sure if you've ever won a championship, you can come back to the All-Star races, which he's won 7.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he does get into Daytona. I don't know if I'd bet on him in my fantasy.
It's a tough pick.
Yeah, he's only won once, and that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that be a fun story if he won 10 years later? Ooh. Coming back, that would be like a spooky story. But
yeah, that'd be good.
I don't know. But we'll see. So we're glad to see Jimmy Johnson back.
Yep.
Next bit of news would probably be Kyle Busch moving over to Richard Childress Racing.
Yeah. Kyle
Busch left Joe Gibbs and joined up with Childress. He's going to be running in the 8 car, which was formerly. He was formerly occupied by Tyler Reddick, who went over to 2311.
Yes.
All these moves.
Yeah.
Tyler Reddick driving the 45 for 2311 because Kurt Busch is not coming back this season. Yeah. He's still not even cleared to race yet.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he's still recovering. I mean, he's in good spirits. He's at all the races. He seems like he's in great spirits, but, you know, we'll see. Denny Hamlin made it very clear that Kurt Busch has a place at 2311 in the organization, so he's probably hanging out there. But either way, I digress because it's really about his brother Kyle going to Childress.
Kurt is going to be missed.
He really is.
He is a good racer.
He is, and when I was making my picks...
I think he's got more in the tank.
I know, I think he does too.
It may not be the end of Kurt Busch.
That's true. I was making my picks for Daytona, and it was sad because Kurt Busch is really good at Daytona.
He is.
So it's gonna be sad not to.
I remember when he won it.
I bet.
Yeah.
See, it's gonna be sad not to see him.
Yep.
Another bit of big news.
Yeah.
Kevin Harvick.
Kevin Harvick.
First of all, retiring.
Yep.
This is Kevin Harvick's last season driving with Stuart Haas.
Yep.
This could go either way. Could it be a miserable season, or could it be a happy win a few races season? I don't know. Kevin Harvick hasn't looked that wonderful in the past.
It could be like, remember when Jimmy,
Yeah,
his
I
last
do.
year, he didn't do.
Yeah, I know, right?
Jeff Gordon
yeah,
didn't do
Jeff-
that great either.
Yeah,
well,
but he did.
He
didn't
did win Martinsville, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the coolest thing that we found out at the Clash is that Kevin Harvick will be in the Fox broadcast booth next season.
That's going to be great.
Fantastic.
Yep.
We always said that. We always said he sounds so good when he used to call the Xfinity races that we hoped. We hoped he'd get in there.
And the shenanigans between him and Clint is going to be
Kevin
fun.
Harvick and Clint Boyer is going to be fun and hysterical.
Yeah. The jokes they'll probably pull on each other.
Oh my gosh, it'll be fun to see and hear. I can't wait.
It's going to be great.
So, we wish Kevin Harvick good in his last season around.
Yeah.
We already mentioned Noah Gragson coming up from Xfinity,
Yeah.
riding along along with Legacy Motorsports.
Legacy, right?
But who else came up? Ty Gibbs.
Dun, dun.
The two of them, that's going to be interesting. I wonder if they're going to carry on their rivalry on the track this season, these two rookies.
I think so.
I bet. Ty Gibbs
is
going to be running for Joe Gibbs, his grandpa.
Yep.
And that'll be...
People are not huge fans of Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, I've heard that he's a little, people are not sure.
Yeah.
People are not sure about him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's in my fantasy.
He is on your fantasy.
Yeah, I picked him.
I know. I know. I'm curious to see how the two of these boys are going to go.
Yeah.
Oh, what else? No Ross Chastain maneuvers.
Yes. No.
No up the side of the wall
No
last
up the
minute
side of the wall,
to suddenly
destroying
get
your
in
car
and destroying
and
your
just
car
to win the race.
and thankfully not destroying anybody else, just so that you can get into the next round of the of the playoffs. NASCAR has said that is a no-go from now on. You are not allowed to make that maneuver.
But he did pull it off.
He did pull it off
Magically.
oh my gosh, it was pretty brilliant. Pretty brilliant.
Yeah.
So no more video game maneuvers.
Nope.
We discussed Tyler Reddick moving over to 2311 a year early. We discussed Kurt.
Yep.
And
wait, hold on.
Oh no, I know what you're going to discuss. Oh, I know what this is. That's
Someone
the gunshot.
got in trouble.
Someone got in trouble. Speaking of Kyle Busch, Kyle and Samantha went down to Mexico for a little getaway. And on January 27th, when they were coming back across the border, they found a loaded gun in Kyle Busch's bag. So the Mexican authorities were not happy about that.
No.
Seems he has a permit in the States, but those permits are not just good for Mexico. You have to declare all that and get different permits, which he did not know.
Yeah.
But
here's the real interesting fact. To that.
Yeah.
Should Kyle Busch,
Yeah.
should he have a loaded gun? Forget an unloaded gun.
I know.
That guy, I don't know.
It's a little dangerous. You don't want him getting all hot under the collar and pulling that out. And I'm sure he probably, he is Kyle Busch, so he's probably got it for a little self-defense and protection. But
we do live in crazy times.
Yeah, but what I read was that's punishable up to with like a fine and like 3 years in prison in a Mexican prison.
Yeah.
Now, when he was asked about it, he told reporters that case is closed and over and done with. So I have no idea. I've heard nothing more since.
That means I'm not going back to Mexico
ever again. And if I need to go south, I'll go to the Florida Keys,
where you can bring all the guns you want.
That's a fact. That's a fact, boy.
Right.
Oh, I love it. All right. Oh, a couple more bits of information of note that I just found out today. Daniel Suarez has signed an extension with Trackhouse Racing.
Okay.
His contract was up at the end of this season, but he will be there beyond.
Okay.
And Alex Bowman and LA Bank have both signed extensions with Hendricks Motorsport.
Wow.
I know. And
hopefully he'll stay on the track. like the whole year.
Oh, I know. I hope so.
Because he's a great racer, but
I
he does
know.
have some kind of mental.
Yeah, he does. He suffers from like anxiety,
and
panic attacks and stuff.
I would too.
My God, I know.
Being in that car, like 3,000 degrees and 600 miles per hour.
And you know what else? Yep. Just today, NASCAR is now sponsored by Powerball.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the drawings, the lottery, Powerball is now an official partner of NASCAR.
Sweet.
Crazy. And they're going to have like lottery drawing at the Phoenix finale, things like that. Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's neat.
So I hope this really means that NASCAR is,
they're always
going
changing
strong.
sponsors.
They really are.
They seem to keep finding, if they lose one, they seem to find a new one.
They do. They do.
It's going to be weird not having an M&M car, though.
No more M&M car.
Yeah, that's going to be really
It is. Yeah. But you know what? It's going to be cool to see a Wendy's car.
Yeah.
Noah Gregson's going to be driving the Wendy's car. And I swear I saw a picture that the hood says, "Where's the beef?" But I don't know. I'm sure that our boys in the broadcast booth will comment about where's the beef.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah, that'll be a new segment coming up. We're going to have sexy booth talk.
Yeah, sexy booth talk.
Because I don't know about the rest of y'all listening to NASCAR booth on Fox, but and on NBC.
Yeah, NBC too.
They can get some real dirty things going on
They say some
unintentionally.
really dirty things.
Right, where John and I will look at each other like
did they just say that?
Did they just say that? What?
Yeah. So we're gonna
have sexy.
We're calling them out.
We're calling them out.
Yeah,
it's
we're
gonna
gonna
be
have
fun.
sexy booth talk.
Yeah. Oh, one final thing is Dierks Bentley is going to be singing at the Daytona 500.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, country. Because that makes sense.
That might make a little more sense.
Yeah,
than
because like a country singer for NASCAR.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Dierks Bentley. I haven't heard him in a while. But
it's been a while. Didn't he have one of his songs?
Didn't he have like that crazy afro? Was he the one with the crazy afro when
he
he
had
first
a bit of
blonde
an afro. Yeah.
When he first came out in the 90s?
Yeah.
Dang.
It's like tamed down now.
I'm sure
the curls
is.
are trimmed down.
Trimmed down nicely.
Yeah, he had a couple of good songs though.
Yeah, I can't tell you one of them, but
yeah,
but I know he did. I know
if you heard it.
If I heard it, I know it.
If you heard it on the radio and they said, "Hey, this is Dierks Bentley," go, "Oh yeah,
that's right,
all right,
Dierks, right, yeah." All right. Well, you know what? I think that wraps up for the news this week.
NASCAR news this week,
and now we're gonna move into fantasy. It's all about the fantasy, baby.
Let's go.
Now it is time for my brilliant, bold, and bonkers NASCAR fantasy picks for the Daytona 500. As you may or may not know, whether you follow me on Fifth Down Fantasy or not, my brilliant picks are going to be the weekly Cup Series drivers who have the best chance to finish in the first spot, or at least have a very good finish. My bold picks are kind of like the sleeper picks, the guys who you might not think of, but they have a good chance to surprise you.
Yeah.
And then my bonkers picks are the people who you might want to kind of stay away from when it comes to your fantasy for the week. So we're going to start out with my brilliant picks, John.
Okay. Let's hear 'em.
Okay. Well, here first and foremost, you cannot have a Daytona 500 brilliant fantasy pick without the name Denny Hamlin.
Number 11.
The number 11 has won it 3 times.
Yep.
He's got the most Daytona 500 wins of any active current driver. And even when he doesn't win, he's got like 8 top 5 finishes, and he gets up there.
Yep.
He has a way of knowing how to ride this track. He knows when to stay in the back, when to go up front. And surprisingly enough, he's only got 5 DNFs.
Yeah.
Which, compared to everybody else, that's pretty good.
That's really good.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good pick.
Denny Hamlin, number 11.
Okay.
My second brilliant pick is Austin Dillon. Strangely enough, and you know what? It's that clash finish, the aggression at the track at the Coliseum that made me think, maybe Austin Dillon could win this again. Yeah. He's a 1-time Daytona 500 winner.
He always hangs in there.
To the end. He does. He's got, he hangs out in the top 10. Somehow he narrowly escapes, a wreck.
That's half the battle.
It is half the battle.
You just got to stay alive for the last 5 laps.
Exactly. And he's got a strikingly low number of DNFs too. And then I really wrestled with this last one, but I'm gonna kind of got a feeling about Ryan Blaney.
Really?
Yeah, because believe it or not, even though Ryan Blaney has not won a Daytona 500, he's been up there a few times.
Okay.
He's been real close. And, the only thing about Ryan Blaney that worries me is he's a little timid.
Yeah.
And I say timid. I mean, he's probably really not. I don't know. But he's not as big of a jerk as a lot of the other drivers. Right, and you need to be. So maybe, but I think he's got a good chance this week.
Yeah.
Then for my bold picks, which I probably should have put him in brilliant, but Bubba Wallace. He was a runner-up here twice.
Yeah.
Finished in second place twice.
Yeah.
And he is hungry for a 500 win.
Yes.
And you know what? Last season was a slow burn progression. And by the end of the season, that guy was right up there.
Yeah.
If that guy had started the season as strong as he finished it, he would have gotten in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
So keep an eye on Bubba Wallace. Michael McDowell, also a one-time Daytona 500 winner, which is hilarious because when I was researching it, I forgot that he won. He won in 2021. I totally forgot that. But he has a way with the super speedway too.
Yeah, he really does.
He can get up there. He can hold his own. And it's so much fun when he does well. He's always got that smile and that grin. He's fun to talk to. So I'm hoping to see where he can go. And Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott has not been the greatest at Daytona.
No,
but the last couple of years, he's actually done pretty good.
Yeah.
He's doing better in recent years.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have a funny feeling.
Everybody's hungry for that. They want to get that win. They want to win and get in. Get it over with.
They want to win and get in.
Of course, not that matters. Doesn't guarantee now. It seems like.
Well, that's true too. But at least pretty much guarantees you're going to get there.
Yeah.
So I keep an eye on Chase Elliott, the number 9, the awesome Bill from Dawsonville.
That's right. That's right.
All right. And you know what's next? Now we're going to kind of go into the bonkers
let's
picks.
go into the bonkers.
All right. John has geared up our sad music to go over the bonkers picks. Now, it's not a guarantee that these people are going to absolutely fail. I don't want to see anybody fail.
No.
But
you might want to stay away from them.
Might want to stay away from these 3 drivers.
Especially on a super speedway.
Yeah. First and foremost, Tyler Reddick.
Yeah.
Not the best at the Daytona 500.
Okay.
And in fact, out of 7 races in Daytona, he's DNF'd 4 times.
4 times? Yeah. Okay.
So God bless him. Let's give him a break here and save him till next time.
He will be winning races.
Oh, he will. He is going to be someone to watch.
Oh,
just not in Florida on Sunday.
No.
Kyle Larson. He's really
the champ. Really? Stay away from the champ.
Yes.
All right.
He's you can go to my article, see a little bit more as to why, but just not that great here. Really low finishes.
Stay away.
Yeah.
All right.
And then, believe it or not, Daniel Suarez, who has 9 DNFs for his what has he been here 11, 12 times. So this is not a track that likes him. No. And you know what? It's not these drivers' faults. It's just how it is. It's how it runs.
It's how it goes.
I think a lot of times they just get caught up in the wrong spot at the wrong time.
All right.
But, Now keep in mind, folks, that when I make my picks, this is the middle of the week that I do it, before qualifying, before our practices. I could say that someone's going to win and they could get sent to the rear for failing pre-race inspection without me having a clue. So this is just, I base my picks, as I've said before, based on the streak, based on their experience, and based on, what I see when I check things out around the NASCAR league.
Okay.
So
that makes sense to me.
That's my fantasy picks. And if you need to catch that, rewind the podcast or head over to Fifth Down Fantasy and you could see it all in writing. If you like what you're hearing, follow me on Facebook at Holly's Racing Fantasy for a little more information here and there. You can listen to the latest episode of Holly's Racing Fantasy every Friday whenever there's a Cup Series race, wherever you get your podcasts. Or subscribe to Holly's Racing Fantasy on YouTube for current and past episodes. Thanks. That about wraps it up for this week's episode of Holly's Racing Fantasy. Join us next week when we will go over the results of the Daytona 500. Oh, it's going to be so exciting.
I know.
And then we will go over the fantasy picks for the next race at Auto Club.
Auto Club.
Which is the Paula Casino 400.
Oh, boy. California already.
California already. West Coast swing, baby.
Yeah. All
right. So thanks for listening, and we will see y'all back here next week.
See y'all later.
Have a good week. Race on, baby.